Babylon was directed by Damien Chazelle and stars Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Diego Calva in his first ever movie, and you know who else is in this? Tobey McGuire. Yeah, that's right. Freaking Spider-Man is in this. Babylon follows the extravagant, insane, and outrageous lifestyles of Hollywood's most ambitious dreamers as Hollywood begins transitioning from the era of silent films to the world of sound. If I had to describe this film, it would be as if La La Land and the film The Wolf of Wall Street got together and had a baby, and this film would probably be it. Many people, when they think of the time period when Hollywood transitioned from silent to sound movies, they usually think it was a really great time period and that it was super easy and flawless. I am here to tell you today that that is completely false. And this film so well explores the time period when Hollywood made that transition. The film follows many actors and actresses who had a very difficult time transitioning from silent to sound movies. I mean, the film will show you scenes where people are being really loud and careless and having fun on a film set because films were silent back then. But then after sound is introduced, film sets are very silent, quiet, and now all of a sudden very stressful. Actors have to memorize their lines now. It's much more difficult, and not everyone in Hollywood survived this transition, and let me just tell you, some of those people had rather interesting ways of dealing with that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm just gonna tell you guys this right now. This film is up in your face. It has an important message to tell us, and it does not care what you think of it. It has an important message, and it wants us to shut up, sit down, and listen. And I love movies like that so much. Movies that have an important message, that know it has an important message, and tells the audience to shut up and listen. And that's exactly what this film is. Babylon is a terrific movie, and I have so much fun every time I watch this film. The film is extremely far out there, and chances are you're probably gonna see some things in this movie that you have never seen in a film before. Babylon is 1920s Hollywood. If any of you are curious as to what Hollywood was like during the 1920s, Babylon is a great movie to watch. Jack Conrad, who's played by Brad Pitt, is a famous silent film star who's trying to keep up with the fast changes in Hollywood, and it's not going so well for him. And I have to say, Brad Pitt, he has got to be one of the most misunderstood actors of our time. When most people think of Brad Pitt, they think he's a typical action movie superstar and all that mumbo jumbo and stuff, but in all seriousness, in my opinion, he truly is a great, fantastic actor. I mean, if you've seen him in the movie Moneyball, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He is a really good actor, and he deserves a lot more credit than what he gets. Nellie Leroy, who's played by Margot Robbie, is an actress during this transition in Hollywood, and she has a really hard time going from silent to sound movies, particularly in the sense that she now has to memorize her lines. She really struggles with this throughout the film, and Margot Robbie does a really good job in this role. I liked her a lot in this movie. And then there's Manny Torres, who's played by Diego Calva in his first ever breakout role. He's someone who wants to be a part of something bigger than just himself in Hollywood, and when he meets Margot Robbie's character, Nellie Leroy, she will change his life in ways he never could have imagined. However, my favorite acting performance goes to Tobey McGuire, who plays James McKay, an eccentric LA gangster who Nellie Leroy owes a lot of money to, and who just so happens to be the leader of a really weird and creepy underground LA cult. That is all I'm going to say on that. Tobey McGuire is very good in this, and it makes me so happy that ever since No Way Home, he really has experienced a bit of a renaissance in his Hollywood acting career. He really deserves it, and he is so freaking hilarious in this movie. Now, I do have a couple of issues with the film. My first issue with the film is its runtime. It's 3 hours and 9 minutes long, and it definitely does overstay its welcome a bit. My second issue with the film was the director himself, Damien Chazelle. Now, look, before I go any further, let me just say this. Anyone who thinks Damien Chazelle is a bad filmmaker needs to have a good look in the mirror. He made La La Land and Whiplash, two films that I really enjoyed, and he clearly knows what he's doing behind the camera. However, I really feel as if he got lost in the eccentric side of the film. This film really does go overboard with its eccentricity. I mean, it's nothing but crazy parties, crazy sex, tons of drugs and alcohol and weird and crazy stuff, and it just goes overboard at times. And during the film, it's hard not to ask yourself, what is the point of seeing all of this crazy stuff happening on a giant screen? Like, I get it, it's period accurate to 1920s Hollywood, but at the same time, do we really need as much eccentricity as we really got in this movie? My point is, it does go overboard a little bit. Some of it is great, like what we see in The Wolf of Wall Street. I love that, but it just goes overboard a little bit for me. Aside from those two issues I had with the movie, Babylon is a very fun, wild, and crazy movie that I loved watching. And I've also got to add that this movie has one of the greatest endings to a film I have ever seen. I loved it. I'm gonna give Babylon an A-. Before I sign off for today, I have a very special announcement for all of you. I have decided once my channel reaches 100 subscribers, I'm going to do a very special video for all of you. I'm going to do a Blu-ray DVD collection video where I show you every single one of the Blu-ray DVDs I own right behind me. But I have to get to 100 subscribers first. So please make sure to subscribe yourself, share the channel with your friends and family, and get them to subscribe, and I will make that video for you all when we get to 100 subscribers. Thank you all again so much for watching my video today. If you liked what you saw here, please consider leaving a like, leaving a comment, hitting the subscribe button, hitting the bell notification icon so you know when yours truly uploads, and as always, you can look forward to another movie review coming from yours truly very soon. Thank you all again so much.